This is Randall Nye the Bible Guy, continuing on in our daily devotional study through the book of Ephesians. We're in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10, where he says, "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them." Now what does this mean? We are to be his workmanship. In Greek, the Greek word used for workmanship is poema. It's where we get the English word poem. Now, what is God what is God doing here? What is God saying here? We are actually to be God's poem. Now, a poet will express himself, who he is, to the world around him through his poem. Now, when Jesus' disciples came to Jesus and they asked him, "Jesus, can we see? We want to see the Father." And Jesus answered them and said, "If you've seen the Son himself, then you've seen the Father." When in Colossians 1:15, we're told that he, Jesus, is the image, or in Greek, icon, of the invisible God. The image of the invisible God. Quite literally the exact likeness of the invisible God. When a woman was brought to Jesus who was caught in sin, Jesus told her, he said, "Go and sin no more." Basically, go and be my poem, my expression to the world around me. We are called to be God's poem, to express who he is to the world around us. His love, his kindness, his forgiveness, his grace to the world around us, the world that he has put us in. At work, at school, at play, whatever. Express who he is to that world around you. Now, what is this good work that he's going to do in our lives? When the world looks at us, who do they see? Do they see us? Or do they see God? If they don't see God, all they're going to see is the icky us, our icky flesh. Now, when we're saved, we might be saved because of the wonderful work that Jesus did on that cross, but we're still caught in this icky flesh. We're still caught in all of these things that we've been in for so many years. But when the world looks at us, if that's what we're caught in, then that's all we'll see is us. They won't see anything with God. Now, what does it mean that we are to be, that he has prepared these things beforehand? God has a plan for our lives. A plan for our lives today. Everything is under his control. And that's why we can have faith and confidence in verses like Romans 8:28, which says that all things, that we know that all things work together for good to those who love God. Everything. God is working everything in your life today for his good plan, to make you into the people he wants you to be. Now, there might be things happening in your life that are terrible, and you could never understand why God would ever let this happen to you, to anyone. But you can have faith and confidence knowing that God is using that for his good plan for your life. Eventually, he is going to use this and make you into the person he wants you to be in heaven. But if you don't learn the lessons today that he's trying to teach you, then you're going to miss out. If you don't learn the lessons today, you'll miss out on the work that he wants you to do in the future. And eventually the work he wants you to do in heaven. Learn these lessons. And that's why if we don't learn them, he keeps giving them over and over and over again as a loving Father. Because he truly wants you to know. He truly wants you to be changed. He wants these lessons to change you into the people he wants you to be. The funny thing is, once you finally learn that lesson, There's just another lesson coming. He wants to teach you something more. Know that none of us have made it. None of us are the changed people He wants us to be. God still wants to work in your life today and in my life today to continue to change us into the people He wants us to be. Be His poem today. Be willing to be used by God to express Himself to the world around you. Let God change you into the people He wants you to be. This is Randall Nye, the Bible Guy, signing off.